Chapter 31. The Emergence of a New Secret Realm. After breaking the ancient seal and retrieving the sacred sword of mystical spirit, Lin Wu's group quickly received news of a newly emerged secret realm. Rumors claimed that this realm not only contained valuable resources but also a powerful artifact sought by various sects. This secret realm lies within the territory of the Azure Cloud sect, Luke Fong reported during a meeting. It's a neutral sect, but the appearance of the secret realm will undoubtedly draw both allies and enemies. We can't afford to miss this opportunity, Lin Wu said, his gaze resolute. If the artifact falls into the hands of Blackheart or someone like him, the situation will only worsen. The group spent several days preparing for the journey. Yen Nhi crafted additional support pills, including recovery and stealth potions to help them overcome the challenges in the secret realm. Luke Fong created mobile formations to protect the group from surprise attacks. Snow White trained with the sacred sword of mystical spirit, testing its synergy with her strength. We're not just facing the secret realm but also others, Snow White remarked. Prepare for the worst. Under the dim moonlight, the group set off toward the Azure Cloud sect. The secret realm appeared in a deep valley, surrounded by a dense mist. A faint light emanating from the entrance radiated strong spiritual energy, attracting cultivators from numerous sects. Our enemies are here too, Heiho said sharply, spotting groups of cultivators allied with Blackheart. We must stay cautious, Lin Wu said. Avoid unnecessary conflicts before entering the realm. Using Yin Yi's stealth potion to conceal their spiritual energy, Lin Wu's group blended into the crowd. As the gateway to the secret realm opened, hundreds of cultivators surged in like a tidal wave. However, as soon as they entered, the surrounding space shifted, scattering the groups into separate areas. This is a dispersal formation, Luke Fong explained, scanning their surroundings. It prevents groups from staying together. That means we'll face the challenges alone, Snow White said, gripping her sword tightly. Lin Wu's group found themselves in a dense forest, where growls and glowing red eyes in the shadows hinted at the presence of powerful spirit beasts. As they ventured deeper, a pack of soul wolves emerged, each radiating sinister spiritual energy. We can't let them block our way, Lin Wu said, drawing the sacred sword of mystical spirit. Snow White led the charge, her sword strikes slicing through the air with icy precision, cutting down the wolves. Luke Fong set up defensive formations and launched wide-area attacks to repel the beasts. Yen Nhi unleashed weakening toxins, making the wolves easier to defeat. Heiho leapt onto a wolf's back, disrupting their formation with his agility. After a fierce battle, the pack was defeated, but the group realized this was only the first of many challenges. As they delved further into the secret realm, Lin Wu's group encountered other cultivators. While some were open to cooperation, most viewed them as competitors. We can't let anyone else claim the artifact, declared a cultivator from the mystical sky sect, leading an attack on Lin Wu's group. A fierce battle ensued. Snow White clashed with a skilled sword cultivator, her strikes precise and relentless. Luke Fong used formations to split the enemy group, creating an advantage for his teammates. Lin Wu, wielding the sacred sword of mystical spirit, delivered decisive blows, swiftly defeating opponents. Yen Nhi weakened their foes with toxins, while Heiho exploited openings for sudden strikes. Afterward, Lin Wu's group pressed forward, leaving their defeated rivals behind. Finally, they reached a vast clearing with a crystal-clear lake. At the center of the lake floated a spear radiating a soft blue light. That's the Azure Serenity Spear, Yen Nhi said, her voice filled with awe. A legendary artifact capable of piercing any defense. But as they approached, the ground shook violently. A massive frost drake rose from the lake, determined to protect the artifact at all costs. The group readied themselves for the greatest challenge of the secret realm. We will not retreat, Lin Wu said, his eyes unwavering. And we won't let this artifact fall into anyone else's hands, Snow White added, her voice cold but resolute. They stepped into the battle, knowing this would test not only their strength but also their courage and unity. Chapter 32. The Battle in the Secret Realm. Deep within the secret realm, tension filled the air as Lin Wu's group advanced toward the central area. The light from the Azure Clarity Spear glimmered in the lake ahead, drawing every eye. However, Lin Wu's group wasn't the only one aware of the artifact's presence. Teams from various directions began appearing, each with its own goals and murderous intent. This Lin Wu, a sword cultivator from Blackheart's faction, sneered, his tone mocking. Do you think you can snatch this artifact from us? It's not about snatching, it's about earning it, Lin Wu replied calmly, his sharp gaze unwavering. When no one was willing to back down, the battle erupted instantly. Bak Tuyet, wielding the mystical spirit holy sword, led the charge, her precise and powerful strikes deflecting every enemy attack. Lin Wu targeted the strongest opponents, using his immense power to overwhelm them one by one, dominating the battlefield. Yan Nhi stayed at the rear, throwing poison and medicinal elixirs to weaken the enemy's formation while enhancing her allies. Hak Ho acted as a cunning guide, using his agility and sharp instincts to lure opponents into natural traps hidden within the secret realm. Luke Fong, now ascended, showcased unparalleled strength as he unleashed devastating formations, turning the battlefield into his personal domain. Standing at the center of the battlefield, Luke Fong formed hand seals, channeling spiritual energy to create protective formations for his allies while simultaneously attacking his enemies. "You can run, but you can't hide," he declared, activating the Thunderfire Barrier formation, trapping a group of enemies in a blazing web of lightning and fire. His newfound power amazed his teammates and struck fear into their enemies. "Luke Fong has changed," Bok Tuyet thought, a faint smile crossing her lips. "He's not just stronger, he's far more confident now." Amid the chaos, Hak Ho used his small stature and unmatched speed to sow disorder. "You think you can keep up with me?" Hak Ho taunted, darting through rocky crevices at a dizzying pace. He lured his pursuers into an area filled with poisonous vines, where one misstep was enough to entangle or poison them. "This trap is yours to enjoy," Hak Ho smirked as he watched his opponents fall, ensnared by the vines. During the heated battle, a neutral group of cultivators unexpectedly appeared and sided with Lin Wu's team. "We cannot allow this artifact to fall into the hands of evildoers," their leader declared, his gaze resolute. This unexpected reinforcement turned the tide of the battle, enabling Lin Wu's group to dominate the remaining enemy teams. After eliminating the weaker teams, Lin Wu's group faced the strongest faction, a team loyal to Black Heart, led by Ma Hao, a sword cultivator renowned for his ruthlessness and unparalleled combat skills. Ma Hao stepped forward, his icy gaze fixed on Lin Wu. "Lin Wu, I've waited a long time for this day. Today, you won't escape." The clash with Ma Hao's team became the fiercest battle in the secret realm. Lin Wu confronted Ma Hao directly, their powerful strikes shaking the entire space. Bok Tuyet and Luke Fong worked together to take down Ma Hao's team members, who were formidable cultivators with exceptional skills. Yan Nhi frantically brewed elixirs on the battlefield, replenishing her comrades' strength as exhaustion set in. After an exhausting battle, Lin Wu summoned the full power of the mystical spirit Holy Sword, unleashing a devastating attack infused with supreme spiritual energy. "This is a power you'll never understand," he said as radiant light from the sword engulfed Ma Hao, defeating him completely. The remaining members of Ma Hao's team, witnessing their leader's downfall, fled the secret realm in disarray. With the battle over, Lin Wu's group approached the Azure Clarity Spear. The artifact's light gradually brightened, as if recognizing its rightful wielder. Lin Wu reached out to the spear, feeling its pure and majestic power. At the same time, a voice echoed in his mind. "Do you have the courage to bear my responsibility?" "I will not turn away," Lin Wu replied, his eyes resolute. The spear glowed brightly, rising into the air before gently descending into his grasp, officially becoming the group's newest artifact. As they left the secret realm, the group realized that this battle was only the beginning. "We've grown stronger," Lin Wu said, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "But greater challenges still lie ahead. And many secrets remain to be uncovered," Bok Tuyet added, her eyes drifting toward the distant mountains. "That just makes the journey more exciting," Hak Ho quipped with a mischievous grin. The group began preparing for their next adventure, a spiritual trial to subdue the Black Dragon Sword, an ancient artifact imbued with the soul of a war god. Chapter 33. The Black Dragon Sword Artifact. After obtaining the Azure Serenity Spear, Lin Wu's group discovered a strange phenomenon within the secret realm. A surge of black energy erupted from the ground, guiding them to a heavily sealed area radiating an intense killing aura. "What lies beneath this seal?" Yan Nhi asked, sensing the unique spiritual energy of the area. "This might be where the Black Dragon Sword is hidden," Luke Fong replied, his expression pensive. Snow White drew the sacred sword of mystical spirit and placed it at the center of the sealing formation. A white glow from the sword combined with Lin Wu's spiritual energy, activating the mechanism to unseal the area. The gateway opened, revealing a dark space where the only light came from an ancient, massive sword embedded at its center. "The Black Dragon Sword," Yan Nhi whispered, her eyes wide with awe. As they approached the Black Dragon Sword, a voice resounded from the void, carrying an overwhelming power. "Whoever wishes to wield me must prove they have the strength and will to control my power. Otherwise, they shall be destroyed by me." Lin Wu stepped forward, his gaze unwavering. I do not seek power to destroy but to protect those I love and the ideals I believe in. A burst of black light erupted from the sword, enveloping Lin Wu and pulling him into a strange spiritual realm. In the spiritual realm, Lin Wu was confronted with visions from his past and his deepest fears. Betrayal. He witnessed his comrades turning their backs on him one by one, leaving him alone to face the world. Cold laughter echoed, drowning him in solitude. Failure. Scenes of his loved ones, Xuanhuan, Snow White, and his friends, being slaughtered by enemies due to his powerlessness. A cold voice taunted, "You cannot protect anyone." Sacrifice. A version of himself appeared, declaring that to save the world, he must give up everything, including the people he cherished. Lin Wu collapsed to his knees, feeling as though his resolve was being crushed entirely. "You cannot escape the truth," his shadow self said. "You are weak, and you know it." "Yes, I am weak," Lin Wu admitted, his voice filled with anguish. "But it's because I am weak that I strive tirelessly to become stronger." He stood up, his soul radiating a brilliant light. "Strength is not for control, it is for protection. I am willing to sacrifice myself, but I will never abandon my ideals." The spiritual realm trembled, the darkness faded, leaving behind a pure white light that enveloped Lin Wu. When Lin Wu opened his eyes, he stood before a towering spirit in the form of a war god. "You have passed my trial," the war god said. "But remember, this power is not a weapon for vanity. It is a great responsibility you must bear." The war god disappeared, leaving the black dragon sword resting in Lin Wu's hands. The sword emitted a powerful black aura but no longer carried its previous killing intent. As Lin Wu regained consciousness, the group rushed to his side. "Are you all right?" Xuanhuan asked, her voice full of concern. "I'm fine," Lin Wu replied with a tired smile. "But now, I have a new responsibility." "The black dragon sword has accepted you," Snow White said, her gaze filled with respect. Upon leaving the secret realm, the group sensed an unsettling atmosphere. Some of the allies Luke Fong had recruited earlier began displaying strange behaviors. "Be cautious," Luke Fong warned, suspicion evident in his eyes. "Not everyone here truly supports us." Heiho smirked. "Don't worry, if anyone dares try anything, I'll be the first to handle them." As the group prepared to depart, Lin Wu felt a faint killing intent lurking in the shadows. "Danger is approaching," he said, his gaze sharp. "Then let's be ready," Snow White replied, drawing her sword, her eyes blazing with determination. They moved forward, knowing the journey ahead would only grow more perilous. Yet they marched on, buoyed by their newfound strength and the unbreakable bond among their members. Chapter 34, The Unexpected Betrayal. After acquiring the Black Dragon Sword, Lin Wu's group, along with their allies, gathered in a safe zone within the secret realm to rest and prepare for their departure. However, tension gradually rose as some of the new allies expressed dissatisfaction. "Why are all the artifacts in your possession?" A voice cut through the silence. It was Xuanhuan, a powerful cultivator among the allies Luke Fong had persuaded earlier. Luke Fong frowned. "Xuanhuan, we agreed to cooperate for a common goal. What are you trying to say?" Xuanhuan smirked. "Cooperate? From the start, you've been using us to achieve your own goals. I think it's time for that to end." Before Lin Wu's group could respond, Xuanhuan suddenly unleashed a massive surge of spiritual energy, attacking the entire group. "I'll take the Black Dragon Sword and every artifact you have," he snarled, his eyes burning with ambition. Cultivators loyal to Xuanhuan immediately sided with him, throwing the situation into chaos. "How long have you been planning this betrayal?" Luke Fong shouted, hastily setting up a formation to shield his team. "Since the beginning," Xuanhuan replied with a disdainful laugh. "I was just waiting for the right moment to bring you down." The battle erupted swiftly. Lin Wu and Bok Tuyet teamed up to confront Xuanhuan head-on. Lin Wu wielded the Black Dragon Sword, each slash radiating deadly energy that forced Xuanhuan onto the defensive. Bok Tuyet, armed with the mystical spirit Holy Sword, struck at the weak points in Xuanhuan's defenses, maintaining relentless pressure. Luke Fong used formations to immobilize Xuanhuan's loyalists, preventing them from aiding their leader. Heiho dashed around with lightning speed, creating chaos in the enemy ranks and leading them into natural traps within the secret realm. Xuanhuan stayed at the rear, concocting her strongest poison. "I need time to finish this," she said to Heiho. "Keep them busy." Xuanhuan's formidable strength soon gave him the upper hand. Summoning a forbidden formation, he unleashed a barrage of spiritual blades that attacked Lin Wu's group from all directions. "You cannot defeat me," he roared, his spiritual energy surging. A massive wave of energy forced Lin Wu and Bok Tuyet to retreat several steps. "We can't let him continue," Lin Wu said, his eyes blazing with determination. I need an opening in his defenses, Yen Nhi said, gripping the vial of poison she had just finished. I'll create one, Bak Tuyet replied, charging at Tun Quan with her mystical spirit holy sword. Using her agility and precision, she drew Tun Quan's full attention, creating a brief but critical opportunity. Now, Lin Wu shouted. Yen Nhi hurled the poison vial at Tun Quan. When it shattered, a black mist enveloped him, immediately draining his spiritual energy. What have you done? Tun Quan bellowed, feeling his power rapidly diminish. Seizing the opportunity, Lin Wu channeled all his energy into the Black Dragon Sword. A massive surge of deadly energy, infused with his unyielding will, erupted as he struck Tun Quan with an overpowering blow. Tun Quan couldn't defend himself and was utterly defeated. Collapsing to the ground, his eyes burned with hatred. You will never defeat Blackheart. With those final words, he vanished into a cloud of black smoke, leaving behind an oppressive silence. The remaining allies, witnessing Lin Wu's group's strength, quickly laid down their weapons and surrendered. We didn't know he was a traitor, one of them pleaded. Please forgive us. Lin Wu stared at them coldly but with measured consideration. Remember, this is your last chance. If you try anything else, I won't spare you. As the battle ended, the secret realm began to tremble. Rocks crumbled, and uncontrolled spiritual energy erupted throughout the area. We need to leave now. Luke Fong shouted. Follow me. Hak Ho took the lead, navigating the safest path out of the collapsing realm. Though they escaped the battle and retained the artifact, Lin Wu's group knew this was only a small challenge compared to what lay ahead. We've spent too much time here, Bak Tuyet said, gazing toward the horizon. Blackheart won't stay idle. Then neither will we, Lin Wu replied, his gaze firm with resolve. Chapter 35, The Collapse of the Secret Realm. Moments after Tun Quan was defeated and the Black Dragon Sword was subdued, the secret realm began to tremble violently. The spiritual energy is destabilizing, Luke Fong said, his worried gaze scanning the chaotic energy flows around them. This realm is collapsing. We have to get out of here now, Yen Nhi urged, clutching the pouch filled with the precious materials and pills she had just collected. Follow me, Hei Ho commanded, his sharp ears picking up even the faintest sounds. I know the quickest way out. The group dashed through dark corridors and vine-choked forests as rocks crumbled around them and bursts of spiritual light erupted unpredictably. Watch out, Snow White shouted as a massive boulder crashed down, narrowly missing the group. Hei Ho leapt ahead, jumping over cracks and leading them through narrow paths. Don't stop, he yelled, glancing back to see the ground collapsing faster and faster. On their escape route, they encountered unexpected challenges. The spirit energy swamp, a stretch of dark energy that created a powerful suction force, slowing their every step. Luke Fong used formations to create temporary bridges, allowing the group to cross. Yen Nhi hurled a vial of poison into the swamp, weakening the dark energy's grip. Enraged spirit beasts, several beasts, driven mad by the realm's collapse, charged at them. Snow White and Lin Wu worked in tandem, wielding the sacred sword of mystical spirit and the Black Dragon Sword to quickly dispatch the beasts and clear the path. As they neared the exit, an ancient sealing formation was suddenly activated, creating a massive wall of fire that blocked their way. This formation can't be undone quickly, Luke Fong said, sweat dripping from his brow as he worked to decipher its mechanisms. We don't have time, Hei Ho shouted, noticing the ground crumbling even faster. He turned to the group, his eyes glowing with determination. I'll hold it back, you all go ahead. No, Lin Wu yelled, we can't leave you behind. You don't have a choice, Hei Ho replied with a wry smile. Don't let my sacrifice go to waste. Before anyone could stop him, Hei Ho leapt onto the formation, channeling all his spiritual energy to weaken it. His body glowed with a brilliant light as he dismantled most of the firewall's protective mechanisms. Go, he roared, his eyes filled with resolve. The group rushed through the weakened firewall, escaping the secret realm just seconds before it completely collapsed. Standing outside, they looked back to see the light from the secret realm fading into darkness, leaving behind an empty void. Hey ho, Yen Nhi whispered, tears welling in her eyes. He's still alive, Lin Wu said, his voice steady but filled with conviction. He's not someone who would fall so easily. The group set up camp nearby to recover from their ordeal. Luke Fong sat silently, staring at the ruins of the secret realm. Hei Ho didn't just save us. He left us with a lesson in courage and sacrifice. We owe him, Snow White said, her voice firm with resolve. And we won't let his sacrifice be in vain. That's right, Lin Wu added, his eyes shining. We'll keep fighting. This isn't the end, it's just the beginning. As the group prepared to move on, an iron bird carrying a message from the sect landed near their camp. This is a message from Black Heart, Luke Fong said, unrolling the scroll. The message was clear and menacing. I know you've obtained the artifact. Do you think you can escape? You cannot. We will find you, and this time, none of you will survive. Let him come, Lin Wu said, his eyes burning with determination. I'm ready to face him. Standing together, the group felt their bond growing even stronger after all they had endured. We fight not just for ourselves, Snow White said, gripping her sword tightly, but for those who sacrificed everything for this cause. Lin Wu gazed at the horizon, where the first rays of dawn were breaking through. Blackheart will pay. This is our vow. Chapter 36. The Vow of Vengeance. Under a sky heavy with gray clouds, Lin Wu's group gathered at a temporary base near the foot of the mountain. A scroll from Blackheart, containing a threat to hunt them down, lay ominously on the table. He knows we've acquired the artifact, Luke Fong said, concern flickering in his eyes. And he won't sit idle. We expected this, Bok Tuyet replied, her gaze cold and sharp. If he wants to attack, we'll be ready. Exactly, Lin Wu said, his eyes glinting with determination. But we won't just defend. We'll take the fight to him. That evening, the group gathered around a large fire, its glow illuminating faces filled with resolve. We've come so far, Yen Nhi said, her voice heavy with emotion. Every step we've taken has come at a cost. But I don't want to see any more of us fall. No one will fall again, Lin Wu said, placing his hand on the black dragon sword. I swear we will defeat Black Heart and bring justice to the sect. Bok Tuyet gripped her mystical spirit holy sword tightly. For our ideals, for those who have sacrificed themselves, I vow to never retreat. Luke Fong and Yen Nhi nodded in turn, their determination shining in their eyes. In the days that followed, the group poured all their energy into preparation. Luke Fong spent hours setting up defensive formations around the base and researching ways to combine their spiritual energy for maximum combat efficiency. Bok Tuyet relentlessly trained with her sword, every move filled with the resolve to overcome any foe. Yen Nhi crafted her most potent elixirs, preparing for an extended battle. Lin Wu focused on mastering the black dragon sword, controlling its murderous aura to prevent it from overwhelming him. During one training session, Yen Nhi approached Lin Wu, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. You're carrying too much, she said softly, her gaze full of concern. I know, Lin Wu replied, meeting her eyes. I just can't afford to fail. And you won't fail, she said, offering a faint smile. One morning, as the group trained, one of Luke Fong's warning formations lit up. The enemy is here, he announced, his tone grave. The sound of heavy footsteps grew louder as a large army, led by a high-ranking elder from Blackheart's faction, approached the base. We have to hold this place, Bok Tuyet said, her gaze icy. No, Lin Wu replied. We'll strike first. The battle ignited the moment the two sides clashed. Bok Tuyet, wielding the mystical spirit holy sword, led the charge. Her powerful and precise strikes created immense pressure on the enemy. Luke Fong activated offensive formations, slowing the enemy's movements and weakening their combat capabilities. Yen Nhi employed her poison techniques to incapacitate the strongest foes, making them easier to eliminate. Lin Wu faced the high-ranking elder directly, each slash of the black dragon sword radiating a murderous aura that forced the opponent onto the defensive. Through seamless coordination, the group steadily gained the upper hand. After defeating the enemy forces, the high-ranking elder lay gravely injured but managed a sinister smile. Blackheart won't leave you alone, he rasped. He's been preparing for you. You'll never win. Before the group could question him further, the elder took his own life, leaving behind a heavy silence. Despite their victory, the group understood this was only the beginning. We need to grow stronger, Lin Wu said, his expression serious. The real battle hasn't even started. Bok Tuyet gazed at her sword, the light reflecting her unwavering resolve. We must keep moving forward. This is our only path. As night fell, the group gathered to plan their next steps. We need to prepare for a larger battle, Luke Fong said. And we need to unlock our full potential. I'll focus on my sword, Bok Tuyet said. It hasn't yet revealed its true power, and I know it's the key to protecting everyone. Lin Wu nodded. We can't retreat. This is our vow. Chapter 37. Snow White's Advancement. In the days following their battle with Blackheart's minions, Lin Wu's group continued to train relentlessly. While Lin Wu focused on mastering the Black Dragon Sword and Luke Fong fortified defensive formations, Snow White dedicated all her time to the ancient sacred sword of mystical spirit. This sword still holds untapped power, she told Lin Wu during a training session. I need to find a way to fully harmonize with it. We believe in you, Lin Wu replied, his gaze filled with trust. Your strength will be a pillar for us in the battles to come. Snow White decided to travel alone to Spirit Radiance Lake, a renowned place for amplifying spiritual energy. She believed it would help her merge fully with the sword. At the lake, Snow White sat down to meditate. The sword glowed, emitting powerful streams of spiritual energy that surrounded her. In her spiritual state, she found herself standing before a hazy figure, the soul of an ancient sword cultivator, the previous wielder of the sacred sword of mystical spirit. "Who are you?" Snow White asked cautiously. "I am the one who carried this sword through hundreds of battles," the figure replied, its voice deep and commanding. "But you must prove yourself worthy of its power." The figure raised its sword, creating a massive battle arena. "You will face yourself, your fears, doubts, and the memories you wish to forget." Fear. Snow White relived the moment her family was massacred, the helplessness of being unable to save them. Doubt. A shadowy version of herself appeared, mocking her efforts, calling her a failure running from her past. Painful memories. Scenes of her lonely years, betrayals, and the emotional scars she endured surfaced vividly. "You can either fall or rise," the figure said. "The choice is yours." Snow White took a deep breath, her gaze resolute. "I won't run, I'll face this and overcome it." With each step forward, she conquered her fears and doubts, proving that her will was stronger than any challenge. When the trial ended, the ancient sword cultivator nodded. "You have proven yourself worthy. From now on, the power of the sacred sword of mystical spirit is yours." The sword radiated a brilliant light, enveloping Snow White. When she opened her eyes, her body glowed with spiritual energy, signifying her breakthrough to a completely new level. Upon returning to the base, the group received an urgent report from a local villager. A nearby village was under attack by Blackheart's minions, who were burning homes and capturing residents. "We can't stand by," Snow White said, her eyes blazing with determination. "You've just merged with the sword. Are you sure you're ready for battle?" Lin Wu asked. "This is my chance to prove my newfound strength," she replied confidently. When the group arrived, chaos greeted them. Blackheart's minions, led by a mid-level elder, were wreaking havoc. "Begin the attack," Lin Wu commanded. Snow White led the charge, plunging into the enemy's formation. With her newfound power, each sword strike carried icy spiritual energy, freezing everything in her path. Luke Fong deployed formations to block escape routes for the enemies. Yen Nhi maximized her support role, throwing poisons and healing allies. Lin Wu confronted the elder head-on, using the Black Dragon sword to dominate the fight. In the heat of battle, Snow White became the focal point as she faced 10 of Blackheart's strongest minions alone. "You can't stop us," one of them shouted. "Try me," she replied, her sword radiating a brilliant light. Each of her movements resembled a deadly dance. The icy energy from her blade froze enemies before they could even get close. "This is my power," she declared, her fiery gaze unwavering. "And I won't let you harm anyone else." Under Snow White's leadership and the group's coordinated efforts, the village was successfully defended. The once panicked villagers now gazed at Lin Wu's group with deep gratitude. "You've saved us," the village elder said, tears in his eyes. "We don't just fight for ourselves," Lin Wu replied, looking toward the horizon. "We fight for the innocent, like all of you." After the battle, the group returned to their base to prepare for what lay ahead. "I've proven my strength," Snow White said, placing the sword on the table. "Now it's time for us to go even further." "Yen Nhi, are the pills nearly ready?" Lin Wu asked. "I need a bit more time," she replied confidently. "But once completed, they'll be the key to our victory." "Then let's not delay," Lin Wu said. "Let's keep moving forward." Chapter 38. Yen Nhi completes the elixir. In the small room filled with the scent of medicinal herbs, Yen Nhi was fully focused. On the table lay rare ingredients the group had gathered during their journey, including rare spiritual herbs and a few drops of frost dragon blood. "This is the final stage," Yen Nhi murmured, carefully adjusting the flame beneath the alchemy furnace. "If I fail, all our efforts will be in vain." Lin Wu, Bok Tuyet, and Luke Fong waited outside, not daring to disturb her. "Do you think she can do it?" Bok Tuyet asked, her voice tinged with concern. "She's the best alchemist I've ever known," Lin Wu replied. "If anyone can succeed, it's her." As the ingredients began to combine, a surge of spiritual energy radiated from the furnace, causing the room to tremble. "The furnace is becoming unstable," Yen Nhi muttered, sweat dripping from her brow. "I need to concentrate even more." A dark spiritual energy suddenly emerged, disrupting the alchemy process. It was the result of an evil herb Yen Nhi had been forced to use to complete the elixir. "I won't let you destroy this," she said, forming hand seals to suppress the dark energy with her spiritual power. Memories of past failures flashed through her mind, but Yen Nhi quickly steadied herself. "I'm not the weak person I used to be," she said, her eyes blazing with determination. After hours of battling her own doubts and controlling the spiritual energy, a brilliant light burst from the alchemy furnace. "It's done," Yen Nhi whispered, her hands trembling as she held up an elixir that shone like a flawless gem. The group rushed in, their faces filled with admiration. "You did it," Luke Fong exclaimed, his voice brimming with excitement. "This is the 9-turn spiritual elixir," Yen Nhi explained, her tone exhausted but proud. "It not only enhances our strength but can also unlock seals on ancient formations." To test the elixir's power, the group decided to try it on a minor seal near their base. Yen Nhi ground a small portion of the elixir into powder and scattered it onto the core of the formation. Instantly, a radiant light appeared, breaking the seal within seconds. "It works," Lin Wu said, his voice filled with amazement. "Not only that," Yen Nhi added, "it also stabilizes the spiritual energy in the area, creating better conditions for us to fight." The group gathered to discuss how to use the elixir effectively. "We can't waste it," Luke Fong said. "Part of it will be used to enhance our strength. The rest will be reserved for breaking Black Heart's seals." "Agreed," Lin Wu said. "We need to become stronger and dismantle every shield he relies on." While researching how to use the elixir, the group learned of an ancient formation deep within the territory of a small sect. This formation was said to conceal a powerful artifact that could change the course of the war. "We need to reach that sect," Bak Tuyet said, her gaze resolute. "But it won't be easy," Luke Fong warned. "That sect has ties to Black Heart. They may not welcome us." "Then we'll convince them," Lin Wu said. "Or fight if necessary." The group spent several days preparing for their journey to the small sect. Yen Nhi continued crafting supportive elixirs to ensure the group was in peak condition. Luke Fong prepared mobile formations to defend against potential ambushes. Bak Tuyet practiced new techniques to fully harness the power of her ancient sword. At dawn, the group left their base and headed toward the small sect. Along the way, they noticed shadowy figures trailing them, obvious spies of Black Heart. "We can't let them report back," Lin Wu said, drawing the black dragon sword. The group quickly eliminated the pursuers, but the encounter left them more cautious. "We need to move faster," Luke Fong said. "Black Heart is closing in on us." As night fell, the group stopped by a small stream to rest. "You've done something incredible," Yen Nhi, Bak Tuyet said, her eyes full of gratitude. "Without you, we wouldn't have come this far." "I just did what needed to be done," Yen Nhi replied, her voice gentle but resolute. "Then keep doing those miracles," Lin Wu said with a smile. "Because our journey is far from over." Chapter 39, An Unexpected Alley. Lin Wu's group arrived at the outskirts of the Green Mountain Sect, a small sect nestled amidst verdant hills, known for its impenetrable defensive formations and neutral stance in conflicts. "Why are we here?" Snow White asked, her gaze wary. "According to the records I found, one of the elders here used to be a fellow disciple of Black Heart," Luke Fong explained. "If he truly harbors a grudge against Black Heart, we might convince him to help. Or he might attack us if he's still loyal to Black Heart," Yen Nhi said cautiously. "We won't know unless we try," Lin Wu replied, his expression resolute. As they approached the main gate of the Green Mountain Sect, they were stopped by patrolling disciples. "Who are you?" the leading disciple demanded, his hand resting on his sword hilt. "We come in peace," Lin Wu said. "We seek an audience with Elder Lu Xuanhuan." At the mention of the name, the disciples exchanged wary glances. "Elder Lu does not meet with outsiders. This is a matter of life and death," Snow White said coldly. "We will not leave until we've spoken with him." After some persuasion, the disciples reluctantly allowed them inside, maintaining a high level of vigilance. Elder Lu Xuanhuan, an aged man with snow-white hair and piercing eyes, sat on a large chair in the grand hall. "Who are you, and why have you come to see me?" he asked, his voice calm yet authoritative. Lin Wu stepped forward and bowed. "I am Lin Wu. We seek your help in opposing Black Heart, and we know you were once his fellow disciple." At the mention of Black Heart, pain flickered in Lu Xuanhuan's eyes. "He was once my brother," he said, his voice tinged with regret. "But he has fallen. I severed all ties with him long ago." "That is precisely why we need you," Snow White said. "He has turned your sect into a corrupted force. We need your strength to end it." Lu Xuanhuan was silent for a long time before his gaze grew stern. "How do I know you are not like him? Those who wield swords are often consumed by their own ambitions." "We do not fight for ourselves," Lin Wu replied, his eyes glowing with conviction. "We fight for those who cannot protect themselves. We fight to uphold our ideals and for the people we love." Lu Xuanhuan stared deeply into Lin Wu's eyes, as if searching his soul. Finally, he sighed. "I have lived too long with the regret of not stopping Black Heart earlier," he said. Perhaps this is my chance to atone for my failures. Xuanhuan agreed to join the group but imposed a condition. If you truly wish to defeat Blackheart, you must destroy an ancient formation he is using to amplify his power. We're prepared for that, Xuanhuan said, pulling out the 9-turn spirit pill. This pill can help unlock any formation. Then we have no time to waste, Xuanhuan said, his eyes blazing with determination. On their way out of the Green Mountain sect, the group was ambushed by a squad of Blackheart's elite forces, led by a Dark Elder, Tan Hao, infamous for his mastery of poison techniques. Did you really think you could win Xuanhuan over? Tan Hao sneered, he's a relic of the past. A fierce battle erupted. Lin Wu engaged Tan Hao directly, using the Black Dragon Sword to counter his toxic attacks. Snow White led the defense of the more vulnerable team members, her every strike precise and lethal. Luke Fong deployed formations to neutralize enemy long-range attacks. Xuanhuan used her expertise in poisons to neutralize Tan Hao's toxic fumes and concoctions. With Xuanhuan's assistance, the group quickly turned the tide, emerging victorious. After the battle, Xuanhuan looked at the group with newfound respect. You have proven you are not like Blackheart, he said. I will do everything within my power to assist you. We'll need all the help we can get, Lin Wu replied, his eyes glowing with determination. With Xuanhuan now part of the group, they set their sights on the ancient formation Blackheart was using. This will be the first step in dismantling his power, Snow White said. And it will be our chance to prove that justice will always prevail, Lin Wu added. Welcome to Fantasy Realms. Enjoy the story, and thank you for your support. Chapter 40, Breaking the Seal. Led by Xuanhuan, Lin Wu's group approached the ancient formation deep within a desolate mountain. The surrounding spiritual energy was dense, yet an indescribable malevolence lingered in the air. This formation is the final barrier protecting Blackheart's ultimate artifact, Xuanhuan said, his gaze stern. If we can break it, our chances of defeating him will increase significantly. But this won't be easy, Xuanhuan said, clutching the 9-turn spiritual elixir tightly. This seal must be reinforced with immense power. And no one knows what lies in wait for us inside, Bok Tuyet added, her sharp gaze scanning their surroundings. The group prepared meticulously before beginning their task. Luke Fong set up layers of defensive formations around the area to guard against surprise attacks. Xuanhuan placed the elixir at the center of the formation, where the seal's radiant light pulsed intensely. We need to synchronize our spiritual energy, Lin Wu said, raising the Black Dragon Sword. Everyone, focus. Each member channeled their energy into the elixir. The 9-turn spiritual elixir glowed brightly, spreading light across the formation. A sound like cracking ice echoed, and the seal began to tremble violently. The seal did not give way easily. Malevolent spiritual energy erupted from the formation, forming grotesque shapes that attacked the group. This is the formation's protective will, Xuanhuan explained, summoning a surge of energy from his sword to defend. Bok Tuyet confronted the spiritual entities head-on, her precise strikes gradually pushing them back. Xuanhuan used her poison techniques to weaken the entities, creating openings for her teammates. Lin Wu wielded the Black Dragon Sword, its murderous aura shredding any malevolent energy that approached. Luke Fong combined formations to stabilize their defense, shielding the group from surprise attacks. We need more power, Lin Wu shouted, channeling additional energy into the elixir. After an intense battle, the seal emitted a deafening explosion, its light flaring brightly before fading entirely. At the center of the formation, a massive stone door slowly creaked open, revealing an ancient pagoda. Inside, a radiant golden sword, the divine sword of radiant majesty, hovered, its brilliance illuminating the space. We did it, Xuanhuan said, her voice a mix of relief and awe. Lin Wu stepped forward, his gaze resolute. But this is only the first step. We must prepare for what's to come. The act of breaking the seal triggered a massive shockwave, shaking the entire area. Our spiritual energy has drawn attention, Xuanhuan said, his expression grim. Blackheart will not ignore this. At that moment, a dark spiritual aura surged on the horizon, signaling the approach of an ominous force. They're here, Bok Tuyet said, tightening her grip on her sword. The group quickly prepared to face the approaching enemies. Luke Fong reinforced defensive formations, creating a solid barrier around the pagoda. Xuanhuan used the remaining elixirs to restore the group's spiritual energy. Bok Tuyet and Xuanhuan positioned themselves at the front line, ready to face whatever came their way. Lin Wu, with the Black Dragon Sword in hand, stood at the lead. We cannot let anyone touch this artifact, he declared, his eyes blazing with determination. Within minutes, Blackheart's army arrived. Leading the charge was Elder Blackheart himself, a towering figure radiating overwhelming spiritual energy, surrounded by hundreds of subordinates. "Did you really think you could take my artifact?" he bellowed, his laughter echoing ominously. A fierce battle erupted. Bak Tuyet and Lu Xuanhuan fought side by side, their synchronized strikes creating radiant waves that tore through the enemy ranks. Luke Fong unleashed offensive formations, causing explosions that disrupted the enemy's formations. Yen Nhi used her poison techniques to incapacitate Blackheart's elite elders. Lin Wu faced Elder Blackheart directly, each strike of the Black Dragon sword infused with murderous intent, forcing his opponent onto the defensive. After an arduous battle, Lin Wu's group emerged victorious. However, the victory came at a steep price. Luke Fong was gravely injured, and the group's overall strength was significantly depleted. "We've defeated them," Lin Wu said, his voice heavy. "But this is only the beginning. Blackheart won't stop. I see hope in all of you," Lu Xuanhuan said. "And I will stay to help you until the end." The group decided to leave the area immediately to avoid another ambush. "We can't let Blackheart gain any more advantages," Bak Tuyet said. "Then we'll strike before he can prepare," Lin Wu replied, his gaze firm with resolve. They set their sights on their hidden base, knowing an even greater battle awaited them.